this is Elaine with Elaine's Creations, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make this fun shaker card with the Whale Done stamp set and whale punch. This is the Whale Done stamp set and whale punch. I'm going to show you how to make this fun shaker card today using this stamp set and punch. The punch cuts out the whale. You can also use the punch independently of the stamp and just punch out of cardstock your own little cute whale. So we've got the eye and we've got this white piece right here, and then this is, I think, called a fin, or whatever that is. And then these two here are like the water coming out of his blowhole. So super cute what you can do with the punch. But I'm gonna start off with this shaker card, super fun, and I'm gonna show you how I put the whale behind the waves. It's really simple and really fun. So we're gonna start with a base of Pool Party that is 4 1/4 by 11. It's scored at 5 1/2 and folded in half, so just a regular base. And then I've used the rectangle stitched dies. So I've used the largest one, and then I skipped one and I used the third largest one right here to create this window for our shaker frame. And then I have embossed this, hopefully you can see it, with the bark embossing folder. And I've already put some red liner tape on it. You could also use tear and tape, that would work as well. You want it to be super strong and you want to make sure it's really stuck down really well, so you can use your bone folder to do that. Just because we don't want any of the pieces that we're going to put inside the shaker card to escape. So I'm just going to remove the release backing, the little red, which gives this red liner tape its name. And then I've cut a piece of window sheet, and this measures, I'm just going to double check here, 3 1/2 by 5. And so this is going to fit nicely right here. So we're just going to go ahead and place it down. And I should have raised it up a little bit, but it still fits. And we're just going to make sure it's stuck down really well with our bone folder. The bone folder does a great job with this. And we're just going to check the bottom here to make sure. And I think I'm going to trim because I just don't want anything showing here. And so if you have an extending piece of window sheet, you can just go ahead and trim it. And then I'm gonna use, I love the foam strips to create my shaker card. They're obviously perfect for creating shaker cards, and they're so easy because it's just one line of adhesive. And I'm just gonna put this close to, not right on, but close to the edge of the opening of the shaker card, and just go all the way down and trim it off. And then make sure that when you do the next piece, it's really, really tight. You push it right against there so nothing can escape, especially if you're gonna be using glitter or something really fine. So I've got these two little extra pieces that I think are still good and useful, so I'm going to put those on here to save for later. And now I'm just going to add a little bit more on this side all the way down. This makes it so super easy. I remember when we had to use the edges of our leftover dimensionals, so we had to save those up to make shaker cards. And now it's just so quick and easy with the foam strips to make shaker cards and pull cards and sliding cards and all kinds of fun cards. So if you don't have this foam strip adhesive, I highly recommend you get it. I'm just gonna make sure it's stuck down really well. And then if you have one of those like eyeglass cleaning cloths, or cloths to clean your phone or screen, I like to use that to just kind of clean the window sheet because my fingerprints might have gotten on the inside, or who knows. So I'm just gonna clean that. I don't know where I got this Stampin' Up one. I got it somewhere, but I use it for that because it's nice and small. And that I'm going to set aside. And now I'm going to create the scene. And I started with 2 pieces of Whisper White, and these also measure 3.5 by 5. I'm just going to check the measurements there. And one of them I have cut, and I am using the Scalloped Contours dies to create this wave here. So I've cut the wave already so that I can tuck my whale under the wave. So it's going to be 2 layers here. I've also used the scallop die to create a template, and I did one 6 inches wide so that I have room to move the template from side to side to create a variation in the waves. So I love this scalloped edge die. It's really useful for this technique. So I'm going to start with let's start with this piece right here. So I'm going to start with this piece, and you just want to grab a scrap piece of paper because you're going to be using a blending brush, and the ink does kind of go off the page. So we're going to use Pool Party and a blending brush. So here's my blending brush. I label all of them, and I just keep using the same color on them. I just find that easier for myself. I'm just going to rub off a little bit, and I'm gonna place this, and I'm gonna alternate. I'm gonna put the peaks down here instead of right in line with the other peaks so that it gives it some variation. And I'm gonna do, how did I do this? I'm gonna go ahead and make this edge dark down here. And then I'm just gonna keep moving this down. See how cool that looks? I love doing this technique. It's so fun. I love using the blending brushes. So now you're gonna do the next layer, and you're just gonna keep moving it down and from side to side, and you wanna maybe get more ink so you can keep that edge really nice and dark, and then have the white peaks. I like that for the water. And then we'll do this again, just get a little bit of ink to the water. I like these water scenes. They're really fun. And I like creating the scenes too, because that's fun too. We're gonna do this all the way down. So I did it all the way down. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the last edge down here. Now it looks like I need just a little bit more ink. So I'm just gonna grab some more ink because I don't want that to be too light. Kind of want it to get darker as we go down into the ocean. So now I'm going to use this piece to create my next wave. And I'm going to add this piece on top. So we're going to go backwards a little bit. Actually, I'll start from the top. I think we should do that. So I'll start from the top here, and we'll just come down. Get that dark in there. Get that a little bit darker. And then I'm gonna line up my template with my piece right here, and we will do this last layer here. It's kind of a wide layer. Maybe I should do 2. No, I'm good. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this layer. A little bit wider layer, but our whale will be here. Okay, so that is our little 2-piece trick here. And put the template aside. And so this is gonna be attached flat, the first piece, onto our cardstock base. And then the second piece, I think I got ink on my fingers, is going to be popped up. Did I pop it up with dimensionals? Yes, that's what I thought. So we're gonna pop it up with dimensionals. Our dimensionals are a little bit lower than the foam adhesive, so it's gonna work out nicely. So I'm just gonna put some in each corner, one in the middle, and add this to the card. And then we will, oh, I should stamp first. Well, I did not stamp first. We need to stamp first. So I am going to stamp some fishies. So I have Calypso Coral here, and we have these little fish that can swim either way. I got ahead of myself here. So we're gonna do some fishies here, and I think that's all we stamp on the top part. And then this part, we're gonna stamp some seaweed and coral and more fish. Although I've already taken off the backings. I'm gonna try and find those in the trash so I can figure out how I'm gonna do this after I put the dimensionals on. Which one is sticky? This one? And this one? So find a little backing. You find these little backings everywhere on your house and on your pets. I find them everywhere. Okay, so let's try to stamp with dimensionals on. You should not do this normally, but we're gonna find the flat parts and stamp on the flat parts. So we'll do another school of fish here. And I guess all the fish are going one way, so we'll do another one over here. And got myself again. All right, so that's the fish. So now we have some bubbles from the fish, and we'll do that in Pool Party. I love the bubbles. So we'll do some bubbles coming up from these fish right here. I'll just go to the side of that dimensional. There's nothing right there. I'm gonna add some bubbles right there. And then I wanna add some bubbles. Oh, I do have a sticky one. I wanna add some bubbles to these, but I'm gonna go off the page. So a trick you can do is just to put a Post-it note or another piece of paper there. That works as well. So maybe this is good. I'm showing you how to troubleshoot this. And then at the bottom, I stamped some sweet seaweed with Just Jade and some coral too. Don't forget the coral. And so I'm gonna need to do the same thing with a Post-it note. So let me get my little Post-it note. I always have Post-it notes around. They're really helpful. And so I'm just gonna put one down here and one down here instead of having to remove this piece. So this is a video on what not to do and what to do when you did what you're not supposed to do. Okay, maybe there's some adhesive on this. So let's stamp some seaweed over here. And then maybe down here. And we'll just stamp one more like right here, but that's gonna stamp on the card. So I'm gonna get another Post-it note over here. So I'm not gonna stamp on the card. So we'll go like here, and then we'll go down here. And then I'm gonna bring in the little one because there's a little seaweed stamp. And let's see, where did I put that? And stamp some little seaweed on the bottom. So one over here, one down here, and maybe another one there. Maybe tall and then short. Okay, so, oh dear, I did it on the wrong, I'm showing you how to do it on all the wrong things. So I did it on the wrong card. So, but I did show you how to stamp on it if you've already placed it down. I want the seaweed on this piece right here. So let me try again. This time I have dimensionals on it, so we'll see how that goes with stamping. My dimensionals are gonna be flattened and not so dimensional. Okay, I think that's probably good. I'll just do another one here. And then that's good. I'm gonna call that good. Okay, so that's the large one. And now I'll add the small one. So we'll do small, and lighter, tall, small, lighter. And looks like I got some ink over here, so we'll stamp over that. I'm showing you how to fix all the mistakes today. And now for some coral. We have this little coral stamp here. And we can place some right here. I only did one, so I'll just keep it to one. All right, so now that I have everything stamped, I can remove the backings. Got to stamp first before you put the dimensionals on. Now that I've smashed the backings on real good, they don't want to come off. So a trick you can do is you can use your take your pick tool to release the backing. And my take your pick tool is somewhere in this thing, but I'm not finding it. So there's a point on the take your pick tool that you can use to kind of poke this off. My X-Acto knife is handy, so I'm just gonna use that. Or I'm just gonna take this dimensional off and start all over again. Yeah, that's really flattened on there. So I'm just gonna take this off. Now that I've super stuck it down. We'll start with a new one. There's always a way to fix things. There we go. Okie dokie, now we're in business again. So now I'm just gonna line this up with the top here. So that fits, okay? And then I'm gonna grab my whale and stamp my whale in Pacific Point. So I just gotta clean my whale off. And here's my paper. And I've already got one stamped already. And I think this one is flat because it's tucked in there. So I'm just gonna put some adhesive on this one, and I'm gonna bring it back this way a little bit because I feel like this one kind of is too far to the left. And I'm gonna pull his tail up, make it more dimensional there. So I'm gonna use Pacific Point to stamp the whale and the sentiment. So the sentiment is "Whale done." So you can give that to somebody who's done a whale of a job. I know, funny. And also there's some seahorses. So I'm gonna stamp some seahorses here on either side. And I'll come back and stamp the seaweed again on there just a little bit. And then this is a strip of, I think 1.5 or 1 3/4. Let me double check. So this is 1.5. And that should work for our whale. So now I'm just gonna come back and stamp some more. I'm gonna have the seahorse holding on to the seaweed there. Seahorses like to anchor themselves, and so they hold on to something. It was really fun to see them in the aquarium, all different kinds of seahorses, and they were all holding on to the seaweed or the plants. So it was really neat to see them. So punch out the whale, and then I'm just gonna trim this off so I can use it again and throw away all these little bits. And now I can use a dimensional on this whale. I think we still have room for another dimensional. It'll be kind of up against the window sheet, but I think that will be fine. And we'll place the whale down here. I think that's too far down. So we'll place the whale right there. And then I have the whale done sign, and I was going to adhere it here before I put the foam tape on, but obviously I have forgotten to do that. So this time it's just going to be flat down here. So either way, it still works. So I'm just gonna tuck this in here so I can still see some of the fish, some of the coral. And so since I did that, I'm gonna trim these edges here so we can still get our foam tape around the sides. When I attach this, just double check it here. Okay. And now I get to add the sequins. So I'm gonna put sequins inside. And when you're doing a shaker card, I always recommend that you put the sequins or glitter or whatever you're using on the image or the flat part itself. So maybe a little bit more. I did a lot of sequins in the first one. So I'm gonna try and do a little bit less this time. And then now we get to place the window sheet on top here with our foam tape, and then it will be our shaker card. Super fun. I wish we had like blue and all kinds of sea colors, but I pulled the sequins from the set of 4 colored sequins. The name is not coming to me right now, but it's really cute. Look, there's one right there. Sequins are another thing that stick to you everywhere, huh? Just gonna adhere this down really well because we don't want the sequins to escape. Okay, and now we can, oh, I do have an opening somewhere. At the bottom, I forgot to put the paper, take the bottom sticky paper off. So I'm gonna stick this back in here and see if I can get these in. So I guess today's card is really all about what to do when you mess up. So I know what the problem is. I should have put the foam tape on the outside so that I was containing all of it, but putting it on the inside made me place this on the upper layer of the piece right here. So I'm gonna have to use a little bit of glue to glue those papers down to themselves. I'm gonna have to do some card repair. And I don't know how I'm gonna get that to with the dimensionals to do that. Maybe I have to use foam tape again. So I'm just gonna put a strip of glue there and just hold that and see if that will seal it up. And then I think I'm gonna have to do that on the sides too. And this isn't working very well. So I think, unfortunately, I need to remove the bottom layer and put foam tape on instead of dimensionals. So I'm going to show you how to repair this card now that I hopefully made my last mistake. But I'm going to use a palette knife to just pull the dimensionals up. So there's 1, and there's 2. I just want to pull these 2 up here. So what happened is the dimensionals got underneath my wave there, and they're coming out the bottom because I don't have foam tape here. So all my dimensionals are coming out through here. So I'm gonna have to put some foam tape all along here as well, or not use dimensionals on the second layer, which I think is the better choice for this card because that's just gonna be easier. So I hope you've learned what not to do. And how to fix your card when you mess up. I don't do a whole lot of editing on these videos, so it's kind of a one-take shot. So you get to see that I am human and I mess up, but that I can fix my mistakes just like anything else in life. You can always go back and fix our mistakes, start again, repair what we've done. So I'm just gonna get these last two dimensionals here, and then I'm gonna make this flat. So there's one, and then last one is over here. I've got that sealed really well, but I need to get this sealed really well too. These palette knives are savers, really help. So I'm just gonna take this off of here. Okay, so I've got the last dimensional. Now I'm just gonna run some adhesive. So if you want to do the second layer on dimensionals, you have to make sure that your foam tape is going to go on the outside of both of these two layers to contain the sequins. And by putting my foam tape inside close to the inside window, I didn't allow for that to happen. So you need to put the foam tape on the outside here so that it will encompass all the background paper. And I'm just going to put some adhesive across here to seal this all up. So hopefully no more sequins will be able to get out. Okay, so hopefully I fixed that. And unfortunately, this layer isn't on dimensionals, but I still think it looks nice and it still works. And your recipient will not know that you meant for it to be on dimensionals, right? Except if they watch this video, they'll know. But I think this should work now. I can get all my sequins down from the corner. And it's nice and clean inside because I wiped it with that cloth. And then if you want to take the cloth again, find out where I put the cloth and just use that to wipe down the front. You have your lovely shaker card. And it looks like I scratched. That's not good because it looks like a scratch, like your scratch on the phone. So I'll just put some sequins there. Oh no, it's not. It's just a little piece of paper. How did that get in there? I don't know, but super fun. So I hope you learned a lot in this video. I sure have. And I'm also offering this as a free card kit when you purchase the stamp set and the punch. They are sold separately. Unfortunately, they are no longer a bundle. But if you go to my website and use the current hostess code, I will send you supplies to make the shaker card, hopefully correctly, this diorama card, and this portal card. So just email me and let me know that you would like this card kit. Thanks so much for checking out my video tutorial on this card. I hope you check out my other video tutorials on the Whale Done stamp set and the whale punch. They're lots of fun. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the notification bell so that you know when I post a new video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.